Thinking about turning your home into a rental, here's what you need to know. I just rented out my personal home. Through a lot of trial and error, we were able to successfully rent our home out for above rental price. So I'm going to show you how you can successfully rent out your house and how to easily avoid any mistake. I also have some fantastic tips on how to get top dollar for your rental. So the first step is deciding if renting is for you. If it will bother you that somebody's going to live in your house, then renting might not be for you. Consider that the renters may not take as good a care of your house as you would. Things could get broken or damaged, and that's just part of being a landlord. You're also going to figure out if this is financially viable for you. Does it make more sense to rent your house out long term, or does it make sense to do a midterm rental, which would be to nurses or remote workers? And you can also consider doing short term, which usually can make more money, but can also be more work on the back end. Another big consideration is if your rental is in a good location that is in demand. If you live in the sticks, you're not going to get a large renter pool. So that's something to definitely take a look at. Step 2 is understanding your legal and financial obligation. Take in consideration any zoning laws or HOA rules. A lot of HOAs will not allow rentals. You also might have to inform your mortgage lender. I know my lender said that after a year that we're able to rent it out. So make sure that you're taking a look at those rules. A big step that you're also going to want to take is to make sure that your insurance is updated to a specific landlord insurance, which might increase your insurance costs. There also might be some potential tax implications, so I highly suggest you talk to an accountant before you make the decision. The third step is you're going to prep your property. So with our house, we had to go around and make sure that we patched any holes. We had to do touch-up paint. We also did some upgrades to the landscaping to make it easier to maintain. And if your home is outdated or your rental property needs some work, I highly suggest doing that because that's how you're going to get that top dollar for your property. If you're offering those upgrades that people are really looking for, like the nice kitchen cabinet, not like the old outdated cabinet, just trying to make upgrades that you think people would appreciate. And then you can also ask top dollar for your property. And then you know you're going to attract those kind of people who are going to actually take care of it. The fourth step is to set the rental price. So you can go onto websites like Rent-A-Meter or Zillow Rentals, and they actually have a tool where you can search like how many bedrooms your house has or what the square footage is, and it will tell you the median home price rental for that area. However, I did find that in my specific area, those tools were off a little bit. So we ended up just going on to Zillow Rentals and finding specific homes that matched what we were going to be renting out. And then we kind of figured out what that median price would be. If you are in an area that does not have rental demand, you can also offer incentives like including utilities or offering a month free. We didn't have that issue, but I know some places like in Austin, Texas, they offer a month or two free on certain rentals to incentivize people to move in. So the fifth step is you're going to market your property. There are many websites you can list on like Zillow, apartments.com, Facebook Marketplace. We listed on Zillow Rentals, and then we also listed it on Facebook Marketplace. We end up getting interested people in our property on Facebook Marketplace, and then we would just send them over to Zillow to apply. Zillow's really nice because you can have your property listings with your pictures, your description, and then you can also have people apply directly to your property. And that way you can pull their rental activity, their credit report, their background check. You can do that all on there. Another cool thing Zillow does is you can generate your lease through them, and you can add in certain things and take out items you don't want. So that just makes it one step easier for you. And by the way, not sponsored. So of course you're going to take good pictures of your property. You're going to try to make it look nice. We took pictures of our property while we were still living in it. So if you think about selling your home, you always want to stage it. So in our situation, it was already staged. We cleaned it up, we made it look good, and we took great pictures. And then after that, anybody who's interested, you're gonna, of course, show them the home and kind of give them an idea of where they're gonna be living. Step number 6 is to screen your tenants carefully. So this is where you're going to hopefully not have that situation where the tenants trash the place. What you're gonna do is make sure that you're pulling those background checks. You're gonna call their references. You're gonna make sure their credit comes back good. One thing we learned is to not be afraid to wait around for the perfect tenant. We got quite a few people interested, and then I think it was like the 30th or 31st day that we listed it that we finally found the perfect tenant. So don't fret, you will find the perfect people for your property. And of course, make sure you're looking at the fair housing laws and following that to a T. Step number 7 is to, of course, create a strong lease agreement. You do not want to have any issues with renting your property out and you want to look professional. Make sure you're creating a good lease and you're covering all your bases. Include, of course, rent amount, due date, maintenance exceptions, any rules about pets. And of course, you can run this by a lawyer. You can post it into Facebook groups, of course, with any private information taken out into landlord Facebook groups, and they can help you and make sure that you're including everything that could possibly happen. And then you're going to send your lease away, and hopefully everything goes well. Then you're going to prepare for ongoing management. You're going to figure out how you're going to collect your rent. We actually use Cash App. So you can use Zelle, Cash App, Venmo. I highly recommend doing that before you go out and invest in a special software. Once you have a few rentals under your belt, that's of course an option. But just to get started, one of those money sending apps will totally work. And then you're just going to sit back and hopefully everything goes well. But of course, there might be some things that come up like maintenance requests. So you're just going to make sure that if it's an important maintenance request that you get to that right away and you're always responding to your tenant. You're always going to set specific boundaries with communication. Like if you don't want them to be messaging your phone, you can have them contact you through email. You can tell them only to contact you during certain hours, whatever you need to do to set those boundaries. And then there's always the option to hire somebody like a property manager to take care of your property if that's too much. So in conclusion, renting out your home is completely doable for anyone. And it doesn't have to be a nightmare. It's been one of the easiest processes we've had. I think the hardest part was just moving out of our house. So it can totally be a smart move for you, turning your home into a rental, and can really benefit your family financially. I know when we thought about renting our house out, we were comparing if we sold our house, we would probably lose money. If we rented it out, we could gain equity. It can actually really benefit you if you play the long game. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe and comment down below. If you're planning to rent out your house, I would love to hear. Thank you.